Hello and good day everyone. I'm Sue and today I'll give you short presentations about the art craft movement. Especially we will focus on the architectural feature of the period. The slideshow is divided into 8 parts as you can see in the table of the contents. Okay, let's start by looking at the historical background of the movement. First, art and craft movement is about the decorative design and philosophy, developed in England in the late Victorian era, beginning roughly in the 1860s. This is when the Industrial Revolutions began in England. The rise of consumer class coincided with the increasing of factories. The factories not only produced poor design and bad qualities, but also affected negatively to the urban environment. Critics and social thinkers such as John Ruskin raised a big concern toward the industrializations. He envisions the society where workers can be proud about the produce they make rather than being brutalized in the factories. His philosophical ideas about direct connection between art, nature, and morality, which mean a man had to put all his heart into it to create beautiful products. This idea was later put into action by William Morris, both fascinated by medieval art and nature. Morris believed in the link between beauty, craftsmanship, and utility. Therefore, he founded the company that focused on beautiful, simple design for applied goods with practical purpose in home. However, it only got its name from an English organization called Art and Craft Exhibition Society that began in 1887. This movement began in Britain, then spread across Europe and North America between 1880 and 1920, and finally emerging in Japan as the Meiji movement. The art and craft movement was primarily concerned with architecture and decorative art, including wallpaper, textile, furniture, metalwork, wood carving, etc. Turning now to the intentions of the movement. The first intention was a react against reductions in quality in raw materials. The second intention was to create the core characteristic of art and craft movement, which are the belief in craftsmanship that stress the natural beauty of the material, the importance of nature as inspirations, and the value of simplicity, utility, and beauty. The last intention is to promote the quality over quantity, handcrafted items over mass-produced, and to feature the specialized hand craftsmen and hand-painted ornament and human personality in design. However, Morris was not entirely successful in transforming the art and craft philosophy into practical applications. One of the most problem was to produce beautiful handcrafted items that could be affordable for the working class. However, most British art and craft items remain the luxuries of the upper class. Okay, continue to the main artists. Here are four main artists associated in the art and craft movement. First is William Morris. He was born in England. He was most known for his textile design, wallpaper, furniture, and for being the art and craft revolution leader. Morris believed that nature was God's creations. Therefore, most of his design are flora and fauna, and the material used is mostly from nature with the earthy color. He was inspired by Raphaelite Brotherhood and John Ruskin writing. Philip Webb was a major figure in the art movement. He was known as the father of art and craft architecture because of his country homes and town house. Philip Webb and Morris were lifelong friends and they engaged in various famous designs in the period. His home often had red brick, sash windows, dormer, gables, steep roofs, and tall chimneys, and the design was inspired by medieval style and Gothic movement. Carl Larsson, also a famous Sweden artist during this time, in the native Sweden, art and craft was concerned with domestic art and closely related to the intimacy of home life. His watercolor painting captured not only the love for family and life, but also the handcrafted architectural design of his house. Here is Gustav Stickley. He was the founder and editor of the Craftsman's magazine and well-known furniture maker. He was a major figure in America for being art and craft movement leaders. His artwork contained house and furniture. His furniture design reflected his ideal of simplicity, honesty in construction, and truth to materials, with bare wood surface, exposed joiners, and polished metal hardware. Let's move on to the stylistic feature. There isn't any trick to identify the art and craft work due to the movement was more reform philosophy that recreate an ideal world from the past. In this period, architecture usually used natural materials such as wood, stone, brick, and a little bit of metal. Open floor plan has no hallway, made the room bigger. Built-in were also a hallmark feature of Art Deco era. Cabinets allowed furnishing to be part of the architectures. A fireplace was the symbol of family in the art and craft movement. Most homes feature a dominant fireplace in the living room. Not to mention porch with thick square or round column and stone porch support. The beam for on the porch and inside the house are often exposed. And door with stained glass also the typical feature of house in the art and craft era. The furniture is very rectilinear and in the simple form, meaning it has many straight lines and sometimes curves. They are usually made of natural materials such as dark wood, like stand oak. No superfluous decorations and actual construction of the object were often exposed. The patterns used in the decoration were inspired by natural elements such as flora and fauna in British countryside. Architecture in this movement used natural materials such as wood, stone, like I have mentioned above. They don't have a specific technique, but on the artwork were required to have handcrafted skill and usually made by one craftsman or in a small group. The Red House is one of the most significant buildings of the art and craft era. With the help of architect Philip Webb, the house with medieval countryside inspirations was built in 1859. Only used basic form, fine materials from nature such as wood, red brick, stone, easy, and finally good craftsmanship. There were no signs of mechanical products, and the entire house was contributed and handmade by Webb, Morris, the wife, painter Edward Burne-Jones, and wallpaper, tapestry, stained glass window to built-in furniture. Therefore, its countryside, simple and absent of decoration design, was to presenting a protest against industrialism and excessive decor in Victorian era. The house then became the ideal architecture in the art and craft areas for expressing the beauty of nature's and medieval inspirations. The standard is Philip Webb's architectural design for the Beale families in 1892. The Cozy Corner is a watercolor painting by Carl Lawson depicting the architectural design and the simple life philosophy in art and craft era. The craftsman farm contained numerous buildings, and the log house is what we are focused on today. The log house is built in 1910 using craftsmanship skill, constructed in the T-shape, connecting one-story kitchens and a meeting room. Plus, the house also has large gabled roofs, has long shades dormer at the front and the back, allowing light and ventilation to go to the bedroom. Craftsman Farm was built using chestnut log and local stone found nearby. The house design and interiors, along with furniture decorated, were typical style of art and craft house in America, using natural materials such as wood, stone, and the use of early color, exposed contrast part in both house and furniture. Open plan without hallway, wood beam ceilings. The house was to promote the simple design, natural beauty from the material, and the harmony of living. This brings me up the end of my presentations. So I will sum up the main idea as I see them are. John Ruskin was the father of art and craft movement, and the revolution is to restore the qualities of craftsmanship to the world, suddenly overrun by industrializations. And this is the reference list.